Yo! Hey, what's up, everybody? It is my first live video blog of 2018, the new year. It's January 2nd, 4:20 p.m. This is the 420 report with your good pal, jer-dog. Everybody I noticed over the holiday weekend, everybody is a fucking critic and complainer, including myself. And in this video blog, I'm going to go into why you should not cater to the critics and complainers. But right now, while the live audience builds, let me just start a couple show dates, or I'll be coming up soon. This Friday night, I'll be in Hinesboro, Illinois, Southern Illinois. That's going to be an adventure. I've got a show in Kentucky on Thursday night. I don't have the details quite ironed out on that one yet, but as soon as I get them, I'll share them with you guys and let you know what's up. If I've got any Southern Illinois friends, fans, or followers, or Kentucky peeps out there. In the meantime, hey, Russell Danley, Larry Smith, Tim Fortin joining in, Michael Murphy joining in. Hey, guys, hit the share button right now if you don't mind, so that way this video will get a little bit more exposure and some more people joining in. And for those of you who are in Illinois this weekend, come see me in Hinesboro. You better get tickets soon. It's a place called Teresa's too. Nice little bar right off of the highway there. And we're going to sell out probably 50 or 60 tickets. It's a small little joint, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And I love doing those nice little intimate crowds. Just like I did this last weekend. I was in Palmyra, Nebraska, Saturday night. Crazy Karen came with me. Hot Karen, as some of you know. Mrs. jer-dog, my beautiful wife, Karen, she went to the show with me. And I always like it when she comes to shows because it encourages me. It kind of forces me to do a lot of new material because she has seen my show so many times. And it puts me in that position where I better bring something new, something exciting, something different that she hasn't seen. Otherwise, she'll fucking get bored. And the last thing you want is your own wife sitting at the bar not laughing at your material. You know what I mean? Like, I can handle someone from the crowd that I don't even know not laughing at the material, but it was my own fucking wife not laughing at the material. That hurts my soul. So just to make sure that she's entertained, I always try to mix it up and do new and different shit and improv with the audience as much as possible. And that works great when you've got a nice, small, intimate crowd where everybody can get into it. You don't lose the people way in the back because the crowd's so big that they don't quite care about what's going up front or give a shit about the people up there, can even relate to it. But you got these small town neighborhood bars that bring in 50 or 60 people. They pack them in. It's good energy flowing through the whole environment. And then I get up there and it's just a very easy and fun to do improvisational comedy with a group like that. This was an amazing New Year's Eve weekend. It really was, from start to finish. Hey, Happy New Year, Uncle Russ. Happy New Year to everybody out there. I did a show Friday night up in Altura, Minnesota. We packed them in. In fact, they sold out the tickets that they originally had set aside for the event, and then they squeezed in an extra 20 seats. And that was a real pleasure of mine to open for and share the stage with Uncle Larry Reeb. Hands down, one of my favorite guys out there right now, veteran of the stage. I saw this fucker way back in the 80s when he was doing Rodney Dangerfield specials on HBO. I saw him on Showtime. I saw him on A&E's Evening at the Improv. And when I was finally old enough to get into a comedy club for the first time at the age of 19, Uncle Larry Reeb was the first headliner that I saw that night at the Des Moines Funny Bone. So I've been a fan of Uncle Larry Reeb for the longest time. And unfortunately, his wife passed away last week. It was the day after Christmas. And when I heard about that, I got very, very bummed out. You know, it's just very sad news to hear about someone that you look up to and admire. And then I also knew that maybe going into that weekend working with him, maybe that would, might even lead to him not being able to do the show. You know, who knows? It's like, understandably so. But he showed up. He's like, this is going to be like therapy for me. It's going to be a great time. And it was. It's a great, great, fun time. So thank you to Pooter and Teresa Pierce and everybody up there at Pooter's Sports Bar in Altura, Minnesota, for packing them in and being a great crowd. It was so much fun. Thank you to everybody who came out for the New Year's Eve show in Gallatin, Minnesota at the community center. That was a great time with Nathan Tricky Allen and the Dirty Jokes and Magic Trick Show. And this is what the point of my video was that I started this whole fucking thing off with. You can't cater to the complainers and the critics. We got in that night. They have the show scheduled for, I think it was like 8:15. And dinner was set to be served at 7 o'clock. And that's what it said on the tickets. It said show at 8:15, dinner starts at 7. It was like 7:20, I think. And, you know, the crowd was starting to fill in. Not a whole lot of people there yet, maybe about half full. And they still hadn't quite got dinner out yet. People were coming up to me like somehow I was fucking responsible for what was going on in the kitchen or what. I don't know. I'm sure they're in there just trying to make sure everything turned out great. Anyway, you had like 3 or 4 or 5 fucking people coming up to me or Nathan like, when's dinner getting served? What's going on with dinner? It's like, dude, I'm just in the fucking show. I'm not the wait staff. I'm not the kitchen help. I'm not the guy, the fucking chef actually cooking the prime rib or whatever it was that was being served. Well, you're here. It's New Year's Eve. You're in for the night. Who gives a fuck when dinner's served? It's going to be a 3-hour show. Dinner can be served anytime in there. You're going to be here for the long haul, motherfuckers. But people have always got to find something to complain about, you know? If you start catering them like, oh shit, we better get it out faster to make sure these people don't leave. Well, they weren't really there to have a good time to begin with. They were just there to sort of, you know, get something out of it. I don't know exactly what. They were there to supposedly have a fun time, but if you get all wrapped up in at dinner's being served 20 minutes late at a fucking New Year's Eve party, that right there tells me you're not the type of person that's probably going to enjoy it when I get on stage and start in with my shit. You know, the type of people that fucking complain at a comedy show should not be catered to whatsoever. As long as the comedian is funny. There's a lot of times when the comedian kind of sucks. The comedian does kind of suck. I'll give them that. You know, it's like the quality of the show isn't necessarily what you hope for. But still, going up and fucking complaining about it's not going to do anything. You know, just enjoy it for what it is. Like last night, I went to see this movie, The Greatest Showman with Hugh Jackman, which first of all, that should have been a fucking clue right there. A Hugh Jackman movie, not to go see that piece of dog shit. And then when I saw the word musical in the description, that word really should have been the indication to stay the fuck away. But I go out on this date night. I'm with my wife. We'd had a great time all weekend. We partied hard New Year's Eve. We partied hard in Palmyra, Nebraska on Saturday night. And we're like, you know, we got one more night. Kids free. Let's go see a movie. I've heard about this P.T. Barnum movie that's been coming out, and I'm a student of P.T. Barnum. You know, I really like the psychology behind what it takes to attract an audience, what it takes to deliver them something they've never seen before. I really like some of the innovations that he came up with about how to use negative reviews and as a way to actually attract a crowd and not something to be afraid of. You know, like I think he's the one that said it doesn't matter what they say about you in the newspaper as long as they spell your name right. I was very much interested in seeing more of that kind of stuff, but it turned, you know, it was a musical. Bullshit, fucking everything breaks into every solution is, you know, as long as they sing and dance, whatever their fucking problems are, the problems go away as long as they sing and dance about it. You know, and even here I am criticizing and complaining, right? But I had a good time with it anyway. I had a good time not enjoying it. I had a good time sitting there in the fucking movie theater with my wife making fun of it, right? Not going to the theater, people afterwards complaining, not writing a fucking letter to 20th Century Fox or whoever it was that produced the movie. I'm not writing to Hugh Jackman saying, man, this is a piece of dog shit. How dare you sucker me in? Which kind of does go along with the vibe of P.T. Barnum anyway. There's a sucker born every minute, right? So I was kind of suckered in to watching this fucking P.T. Barnum movie. I should have known right there there's a movie about P.T. Barnum movie that the fix was in some way, shape, or form. But I just went out to have fun. The point was to take my wife out to have a good time. The point of going to see a comedy show is to go out and have a good time. So even if the fucking comedian sucks, just enjoy the fact that the comedian sucks. You can sit there and you can have your own private jokes with whoever you're with about how fucking bad the show is. Whatever. What I'm saying is just because dinner's served 20 fucking minutes late doesn't mean you get to go around and complain that your whole night is ruined. You know, you can't cater to the complainers because everybody's going to be a critic. It's going to be impossible to make every single fucking person happy. You know, so if you'd listen to the critics, you would never do anything. If I listened to the people who had a problem with everything that I said on stage, if I listened to every single criticism that I get from doing comedy, I would fucking quit doing comedy. There's always someone that's got a problem with something that I say or do, right? But as long as the majority of the people are laughing, one thing I got out of the movie last night watching The Greatest Showman is the fact that he was like, hey, are the smiles fake? Are the smiles fake? It doesn't matter as long as everybody there is genuinely having a great time. So what if one fucking person is pissed off because it's not quite what they expected, you know? Obviously, I'm not the demographic for a movie like The Greatest Showman. I should have fucking known that just watching the previews. It was all either animated films, children's movies, or gay relationship movies. That right there was evidence enough that I probably should have just walked right the fuck out. You know, I need to wait for the Martin Scorsese version of The Greatest Showman to come out. I need the Martin Scorsese version of P.T. Barnum's life put up on the big screen. That's what I need to wait for, you know. Not that that's going to be historically accurate either, but at least I'm not going to have to sit through all that singing and dancing bullshit. So, that said, let's get into some comments here, man. It's free, that's why. Well, technically, the P.T. Barnum movie ultimately served its flaw. Yeah, exactly. Alias, if that is your real name. See, that's a little P.T. Barnum-esque thing that you got going on there, too, you know. If you know what I'm talking about, you know, just you're exactly what I said. Like, I was kind of suckered into the fucking movie. It's like, oh, The Greatest Showman. I can't wait to go see a P.T. Barnum movie. And I go in, and it's, you know, fucking musical. I hate musicals. The only musical I've ever liked is The Blues Brothers. Who else is in? Jessica Croissant. What's up, Snooky here? Oh, the redneck Snooky from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin joining in. What's up? Say hello to Jen and everybody there at Jen's Bar, if that place is still around. I don't know. It's been a couple years since I performed there. But that's another venue that I'm talking about. One of my favorite types of places to perform. The small neighborhood bar, nice intimate crowd where you get to do a lot of interaction with the people in the audience. And that's where I think I come up with the best comedy, is just right there where I'm going with the flow, talking off the top of my head, being spontaneous, being improvisational, and that always amounts to future material for later on shows. So come see me this Friday night. I'll be in Hinesboro, Illinois at a small bar called Teresa's 2. We're going to pack them in, about 50 or 60 people. So I'll put the information and the phone number and anything else that you might need in order to get your tickets. I'll put those in the description of this video as soon as I get done recording it. And shit, what else I got to say? Any more comments? That's about it right now. More people are joining in. Hit the share button. Hit the like button. Give me some more comments. Questions. What else I got listed here? I was going to rant and rave about critics and complainers. I liked how he printed, P.T. Barnum, he printed the negative review with the half off coupon. I thought that was pretty. I wanted to see more of that. I wanted to see more of that and less of the fucking singing and dancing. I can't believe I just spent $30 to watch a movie that really sucks. Na 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 na. And then they did like modern dancing. That's one thing that fucking drove me crazy too, is like, I really thought I'd get to see more of the freak show acts, not just a bunch of people who sort of fit the freak show look, but then you didn't ever actually saw them do their act really much. You know, even the trapeze artist, that looked all very stunt man-esque. I wanted to see an actual fucking fire breather, an actual sword swallower. I wanted to see the bearded lady actually sing, like an actual bearded lady that might do that, not just a pretty fat chick that they glued a fucking beard on. And how do I know they glued the beard on her? Because she raised her arms up like this. Spoiler alert, no armpit hair. So she's the bearded lady with no fucking armpit hair. The whole rest of her body is perfectly groomed, but she's the bearded lady. I mean, maybe that's what they did back in those days. Maybe they had waxing. Maybe they knew what the no-no was back then. I don't know. I didn't live in the 1850s or whenever the fuck P.T. Barnum, I think it was the 1850s. Yeah, it was the 1850s when that movie takes place. I didn't live back then. Maybe they did do full body waxes. But she's the bearded lady with no fucking armpit hair. Whatever. Anyway. It was completely unrealistic, historically inaccurate. That's all I'm saying. That's about all I had written down for today. I just wanted to rant and rave and talk about how awesome my New Year's Eve weekend was. I hope yours was as well. It was 3 nights of just fucking fun comedy. Night number 1, working with Larry Reeb, Uncle Lair in Altura, Minnesota. So once again, a big shout out to everybody at Pooters who attended that show. Big shout out to Larry Reeb for making it, even though his wife passed away last week, the day after Christmas, which really fucking sucked. But it was such a pleasure to share the stage with him. It's like you said, man, I'm going to use this for therapy. And that's how comedians are. It's like I performed the day that I found out my dad died. I still had a show that night. And it's exactly what it was. It was just therapy for me. It was my way to rant and rave and my way of spreading some joy, some humor, give the audience a good time, forget about my fucking emotions for a little while and just project out to the crowd and make something positive happen. And I feel like that's what my dad would have wanted me to do anyway. He wouldn't have wanted me to like just sit around in my sorrow all night long. He wanted me to go out there and do what I do. And I think that's one of the best parts about comedy. It's like no matter what fucking bullshit is going on out in the world, it really does provide a great way for you to escape the bullshit, escape politics, escape what's going on in the news, escape all the drama, you know, get out to a comedy show, have some drinks, share some laughs, and don't fucking criticize it and complain about it if it's not quite up to your expectations. That said, come see me this Friday night in Hinesboro, Illinois. I'll be at Teresa's too, and I guarantee you can have a good time. But if you don't, I don't want to fucking hear about it. No complaints. This is a complaint-free zone, unless you're me and you're criticizing the Greatest Showman, which sucked. Any more questions or comments? I don't know. Mark Monger, hey, bro, when you coming back to Caledonia, Michigan? I had a great time in Caledonia, Michigan at the Caledonia Family Tavern. I can't wait to get back up there. I'll be in Lowell, Michigan next Saturday night. How close are you to Lowell, Michigan? I'll put the venue and all the show information up on that. Just like the show in Caledonia at the Family Tavern, this is also a Jerry Donovan comedy production. So wherever it is that Jerry Donovan is promoting a show at in Lowell, Michigan, which is next Saturday night. What is it? January 13th. January 13th. To answer your question, Mark Munger, I'll be in Lowell, Michigan. How close are you to that? If you're not that close, just hit this, share with the people that you know. Jer-dog's coming to the area. If you know anybody in that area. Anybody else in Lowell, 15 minutes away. Awesome. Come on out then, man. It's going to be a good time. Hit me up. We will have some pre-show drinks. We'll have some post-show drinks. Fuck, we'll have some during the show drinks. Come out, heckle me. That's what I want. I don't want complainers before or after the show. I'd rather have you heckle me during the show so I can turn it into something interesting and entertaining for the rest of the fucking people. If you're just going to save your complaints and your criticisms for after the show, what am I supposed to do with that? Criticize me during the fucking show so either A, I can course correct, or B, I can turn that shit into something entertaining for the rest of the people. Don't just hoard all that crap to yourself and then go yak into the manager's ear about how you want your fucking money back or a refund or some shit. Bring it up to the fucking comedian while he's on stage. That'll be a lot more interesting. Now, that said, I'm not speaking for other comics. There's a lot of comics that don't like you to interrupt their routine with your criticisms and your heckles. I'm one of the few that doesn't mind it so much because I relish any opportunity to drop the pre-written, rehearsed, polished material and go into something spontaneous and improvisational. If you were at the Caledonia show at the Caledonia Family Tavern, you know what I'm talking about. That group that sat right up fucking front and couldn't shut their pie holes. I use that for constant material, constant fodder, you know, subject matter that brought the rest of the crowd into it. Blew the fucking roof off the place. Everybody loved it. And now that's a YouTube video that I got out there. That was new material that I created for future hecklers. So I appreciate hecklers. I appreciate the critics. I appreciate the haters. Haters are just confused admirers. That's all it is. So bring them on, motherfuckers. Bring them on. I will see you there, Mark Monger, in Lowell, Michigan. I will put the show information on that as soon as I get it from Jerry Donovan. In the meantime, hit the share button, hit the like button, hashtag the 420 report, whatever it is, but spread the word. Jer-Dog is coming to town. And for the rest of you, hey, come back by here tomorrow, 4:20 p.m. I'll do another live video blog, and I will be talking to old road pro, road warrior, road dog, longtime kick-ass, hilarious comedian who will be doing a show this Friday night in Crystal, Michigan, at the Uptown Pub. Crystal, Michigan, at the Uptown Pub, as part of the Grassroots Comedy Tour series there. I'll have him as a special guest caller on tomorrow's live video blog at 4:20 p.m. or as close as possible. Thank you guys for your comments. Check Croissant. I will see you in Janesville. Better get your tickets now because they're going fast. And one of those shows is already sold out. That's February 2nd and 3rd. Mark Monger, thank you for the comments. Everybody else, hit the share button, hit the like button. I'll see you back here tomorrow, 4:20 p.m. or as close as possible. Until then, dog bless America.